and welcome back to the second half of the Winner's Day for EVE Online's Alliance Tournament 10. With me is Kill2, and I am Lazarus Telraven. On the field, we have AAA versus NC Dot. AAA standing for Against All Authorities, and NC Dot for Northern Coalition Dot. On the field, we have two Kitsunes, and four Cyclones for AAA. And what do we have for NC?
So NC stuck with the same exact setup from last week: Slipner, Scimitar, Griffin, Merlin, Griffin. Actually, I think they swapped one Griffin for one Merlin, but they have one of those Griffins disconnected, so he's not here. Before the match starts, one dramatic twist to this match: NC Dot have put one Plex in the cargo hold of each of their ships.
Yeah, so if Against All Authorities manage to kill these Sleipnirs and Scimitar, they will be rich beyond belief with their 500 million disc Plex.
That's right. So the teams have warped in at pretty long range. The Cyclones came in for AAA at 20 or probably 20k from the beacon, and the entire NC team warped at more than 30k, 30 or 40k as well. But and actually the NC Sleipnirs are burning away from the AAA Cyclones, which is kind of interesting. And the Cyclones obviously in chase.
What's important to note is that these Kitsunes are 5 points each because they are electronic attack frigates. So if by them burning away, if they're able to pop these two EAFs very early, they automatically make it through with the 8-point rule that we have currently with the lowest teams at only I think 70 points. So I mean, if they're able to get these Kitsunes down, ensure their victory, then they can just lose everything else and it wouldn't matter. So
yeah, it makes sense. And there goes one of them already. So AAA on the board first, and it looks like, well, I think the Merlin is like here. Oh shoot, never mind. It's the wrong Merlin. I thought the NC Merlin is he's guarding a Scimitar. I thought it was the AAA Merlin that had tackled the NC Scimitar, but it's actually just the NC Merlin guarding his Scimitar. So
yep, anyway. You see a T-Poil in his Cyclone and about 40% shields. I saw some boost, and I think he might be running out of charges here, but there goes another boost. Okay, so he just now turned it back on. Colonel Kurtz as well is at 60% shields. I haven't seen any boost from him. Currently at Northern Coalition Dot has 5 points, Against All Authorities have 2.
Still, the Slipner's trying to kite. I'm looking at Colonel Kurtz, who is the one who's taking damage. He is burning away from the field, trying to keep range on the Cyclones, which is pretty interesting. I'm kind of surprised they didn't just go for the brawl. I mean, I'm not saying that's better. It's just we haven't seen a lot of this battlecruiser on battlecruiser fights where people are actually trying to kite. I wonder if the idea is partly to use up ASB boosters, since the NC team has more like infinite tank event. You know, they have the Scimitar, so they never really run out of the ability to tank. Whereas at some point the AAA setup starts to run out, even though that would be a really long time from now. So maybe you're right. They're just trying to take out the Kitsunes while they burn, and avoid losing ships in the meantime.
Yeah, while you're talking about those cap charges, the last Kitsune for the AAA team is entering armor. So if they're able to get a couple more volleys off on that Kitsune, they have their 8 points and they make it through. You're not really seeing any damage really spread across the Northern Coalition Dot team. So it's and then there goes the Kitsune. It popped.
Yep. So that puts NC into next week for sure. AAA really needs to get a tackle here. They really need to get something pinned down and be able to apply all this damage, and they're really having a hard time with that for some reason. I don't know if it's feasible for them to catch up with the NC Scimitar. I think that would be ideal for them, since they're not really pinned down anywhere. And that would be a better target, since it's going to be hard for them to break the Slipners. But I still think if they could get all 4 Cyclones on one Slipner, they should be able to break it.
Well, right now for NC Dot, you have the ECM drones fielded by the Sleipnirs being spread across 2 Cyclones, so that they're trying to get those jams spread out on those Cyclones to kind of even out the DPS, lower the DPS, and then use up the booster charges on the T-Poil, because like you said, they have no logistics ship. Once those charges are gone, they're going to have a really tough time keeping those ships alive.
I just had the idea that it's possible they're already Slipners, and that is why they would be really happy to keep range, but that's not the case. So
yep.
Now it looks like Slipner Colonel Kurtz turned back in towards the Cyclones. Maybe actually, now that they've...
Looking at these, they are actually 220mm Sleipnirs, not 425 like we've seen throughout the tournament, which means they probably had to drop those 425s to 220s to be able to fit ganglinks on.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I know I had one Sleipnir fit I saw earlier today. The rope propel setup actually was 220s as well, with one ganglink on each Sleipnir. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now this AAA Cyclone taking a lot of damage. It's going to be really bad news for AAA if they can't manage to get some damage on something here. They're about to lose a significant portion of their DPS. He's dropping and going down right now, so they're in bad shape. They got to figure out a way to kill something, and they can't just kill the 2 frigs. That won't be enough points to push them through.
Yeah, really their only option right now is if they were to rush that scimitar, get that scimitar down, because like we keep going back to that, they have the logistics ship and the ASBs, so they have the dual tanks, and once the but I don't know, you see the DPS coming onto Mafia Matt now, so he might be outcharged, they might be able to break him. So if they get that Sleipnir down, that ensures him to go through, but it's gonna be close.
Yeah, it is gonna be close. They do have him tackled. I mean, he's whoa, what in the world? I wonder if this is a lot of ECM kind of telling the story here, but webs just dropped on Mafia Matt and he just took off. I don't know. Outside, it's not jams though, because 2 of the Cyclones still have locks. I wonder if they're not running very many webs.
Yeah, I think they probably have different utilities spread out, because you still see some damps going on to the scimitar. So at least one of these Cyclones does have a sensor damp fit to try to bring the scimitar back into range. But yeah, you see Mafia Matt entering armor, so this is a pretty big deal. If they ever get him down, those are the points they need.
Yeah, it's really, really important for them to be able to take him down, and he's just barely. I wonder if he started to pull away when he had to reload, and now he's reloaded. He's getting boost, whether it's from the scimitar or from his ASB or both. It's impossible to know, but
yeah, I think he's out of charge. I think he's reloading, or he's trying to use any cap he has left. But I mean, he is instructor. I mean, I think he is going to go down, possibly.
Oh, they're about to lose another Cyclone, though. AAA is about to lose another Cyclone, which, you know, is another third of
He
their
just
DPS.
went down. I mean,
yeah,
that's a lot of DPS.
It's a lot. And he's still, Mafia Matt's still trying to pull range on these Cyclones. Every bit of distance he gets on them lowers their damage. And I think he's going to survive this now, looking like pretty easily. Once that Cyclone dropped, he's escaping, so
I don't think AAA is going to make it through the group stages.
I don't think so either.
As they lose more and more Cyclones, they're not going to have the DPS to break these tanks.
I'd love to know the whole story here. I wonder if, if we can blame AAA, like, under-emphasizing tackle. Like, if they thought they could spread it out and then maybe NC was able to figure out which one of their Cyclones have webs and just make sure to jam that one so that they had mobility throughout the whole fight, or what? I don't understand how they were unable to keep a Sleipnir pinned down underneath 4 Cyclones. That seems unusual, but
an important note thing is they brought sensor damps on some of their Cyclones, but they packed damage drones. While the Sleipnirs packed ECM drones. If you had four Cyclones, which is 4 flights of ECM drones, they could have done a lot of damage to the Northern Coalition team with those ECM drones. So I think really them trying to emphasize more damage when they already had 4 Cyclones worth of DPS, I think they kind of overdone the DPS and not enough E-War.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but what's surprising to me about that is you would think if what they did is overdo the DPS, that they would be able to at least take something off the field. I mean, it seems like that's exactly what their attitude was. We're going to bring as much damage as we possibly can, and a little E-War support in the form of the Kitsunes, but we're mostly just going to worry about trying to kill at least one ship. And I would have thought they would have been able to do that, but apparently NC's combo of E-War was enough to prevent that, and probably some really good piloting. I don't feel like I completely understand when and why the Sleipnirs pulled range, but I think they must have made the right decisions, because they're going to get through this entire AAA team without losing a ship.
Yeah, like the ECM drones I think really made the difference here, because those ECM drones they were able to free up that Sleipnir to get out of web range. The ECM drones getting those jams off every once in a while, and just I think that really won the match.
I mean, the ECM drones are really powerful, but the AAA Cyclones are running ECCM, and at the time that, at least one of the times I saw the Sleipnir pull away, I saw 2 Cyclones still shooting him, so he's not, like, completely free of targeting. It's not like he got his tank back because they couldn't lock him. He was definitely still getting shot at, but of course ECM drones are really strong, and I'm sure that prevented a lot of DPS throughout the course of the fight. In any case, AAA losing their last Cyclone right now, That guy's in structure. He's going to go down with a minute to spare in the match, and
Yep.
NC didn't lose a single plex in that fight.
Not a single plex. But also important note about those Cyclones, they were also ham fit. So they were using 2 of their utility highs for heavy assault missile launchers.
There you have it. We'll send you guys back to the dubstep, and we'll see you again in a little bit.